Namaste. We are doing Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, Jnana Yoga. We were talking about the ninth sloka in the fourth chapter. Goes like this: Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma natimam eti so Arjuna. So, the meaning is when you know that my life and my actions are all good, knowing this, your own element, when you drop this body, you will have no birth. Such a person attains me. So here Krishna is saying not about the body. He's not talking about the forms. It is the energy he's talking about, that pure energy. Nothing is not possible for that kind of energy. We have to be open minded to see the possibility. We just see the impossibility. We may think this is not possible, this is not possible, this is not possible, then that's a different story. But if you see if there is a possibility, for example, children see life in everything. Moon speaks to them. They make cartoons, no, of sun and moon and all the planets smiling. Every animal speaks to them. Birds, everything has life and everything communicates with a child. As a child, before we are adulterated, we were also like that. We were also innocent and were able to communicate with the whole planet. Similarly, seeing the possibility with an innocent mind, keeping aside all the concepts for some time, we can see that that energy is speaking to us, saying when everyone connects themselves to the innermost pure energy, the pure spirit within each one of us, then only they'll be able to know the energy's actions and the life is all about that. Then they are with that space, in that space, they have no more rebirths. That person attains me. So the rebirth meaning, there is a saying in Kathopanishad that the last thought of your death will will be the seed of your next birth. So if your last thought is chicken, I want to eat chicken, and the chances are that we will end up in a poultry farm as a chicken, born as a chicken. So our thoughts are very, 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 very powerful. So now that how to control the thoughts, the last thought, who has the thoughts keep coming, no? We don't create our thoughts. So-called psychologists or anybody, they'll arrange the thoughts as positive thoughts, negative thoughts, and stop all the negative thoughts. Only get the positive thoughts. Don't think like this. Think in certain way. And sometimes you are trying to think in certain manner is such a burden. No, sometimes thoughts come. It is out of our control. Depending on where we are, you go to different places, place where a lot of violence happens. You go there, your space, energy space changes. Your thoughts are different there. You go and sleep at different places. You will have different dreams. You eat something stale, and your thoughts are stale. Not so good thoughts you get. Your food impacts on your thoughts. So it the last thought could not be controlled by just forcing the mind. In fact, by forcing the mind to do something, it is counterproductive. Now, if you want the mind to not think about this thing, that thought will come more. So the final thought, how to have a say over the final thought, we have to have a practice from now itself. If at all, let us think there is no rebirth. Still, we don't want to think about uh, things which are unimportant to me, has no meaning. I'll be Vipat. Yeah, just to be clutter free. When we are hollow and empty meaning, see, it is not a concept again. What hollow and empty? If you see the eyeballs, they are hollow and empty, no? So the light ray go there and then it reflects, and we that creates the vision. And the nostrils are hollow and empty, so the air is going in. So the pipes, the trachea, and then the lungs are hollow and empty. That's where the air is going in and out. Look at the stomach. Stomach is hollow and empty. That is why you have taken tons and tons of food and then it's um, utilized it. The kidneys, they filter, and nerves hollow and empty. They're all like pipes, like flute. Yes or no? Heart is hollow and empty. That's why the blood is going in and out. Okay, for this, every cell is hollow and empty. Even the skin is like a mesh, mosquito mesh, just hollow and empty. It's not an imagination that we are hollow and empty. Eardrum, if you see the drum is hollow and empty. Now that's why any instrument, a sound is produced because inside of the instrument, even veena is hollow and empty. If at all you want to have a rhythm in your system, in your body, you have to be hollow and empty. You are hollow and empty. We are all hollow and empty. Just reminding again and again, just that reminding gives a lot of freedom. Now, then in the state of Krishna, in that state, then the same, if you're in the same frequency with Krishna, then this question comes: is it possible for me? It is like I'm just nothing. I'm useless. I have done so many sins. The sinner concept, if you see people label so-called religious people, they either put you in fear, like if you don't follow this, you'll go to hell. If you follow only whatever is in my scripture, then only you will go to heaven. They create hell for themselves and hell for others. Yes, you are a sinner. They label, put stickers, very easy to put. And then they put them in guilt that they're a sinner. So to come out of the sin, they have to follow certain rituals and pay lots of money for those people. Guilt is the worst thing which can happen in spiritual path for all of us at any time, at any place. So at, if you have to go be like do the reverse of the guilt, for all of us it is possible at any time, at any place to attain that hollow and empty space. It is because it is the truth. Said yes. Krishna says this 4.4 chapter 10th sloka. वेतरागभयक्रोधा मन्मया माम् उपश्रिता बाहवो ज्ञानतापसा भूतमाद्भावम् agataha. So the cravings and aversions. There's a story for a manager, he got cravings and aversions because the manager who's managing the whole company, he will have to listen to so many people complaints and praise. Somebody praises the manager, so the boss, and then he'll be bloated and he'll be favorable to that person. If someone says something negative about particular colleague, he will remember that and become biased about it. So the managers are very prone to having cravings and aversions. They have strong likes and dislikes to people, but they shouldn't be biased. No, they should be equal to everybody, and then they should be able to listen to the other side of the story. That this craving and aversion, their own likes and dislikes, priorities will block them from communicating with others clearly, openly. When there is a communication blockage, what happens? There is a gap, and then you create unnecessary assumptions. When the assumptions come, it is not reality, it is far fetched, far away from reality. When you are living away from reality, you cannot connect to others. When you can't connect to the other human being, it is not happiness. When you are disconnected, you can't be happy. The innate need of any human being is to get connected to the other human being. So we will talk more in detail about the next sloka in our next video. Till then, namaste.